Hey Panthers, I'm Curran Bradley, and you're watching Curran Events. Our first story takes us to the NBA, where last week, former MVP and 10-time All-Star James Harden was traded from the Philadelphia 76ers to the Los Angeles Clippers. Here we have our sports analyst and James Harden superfan, Khamarean Turner. And Khamarean, I just want to ask you, what do you think about this trade?
The trade was expected to happen a lot earlier in the offseason. Harden had a bit of a fallout with his GM and former friend Daryl Morey. And it was due to Daryl Morey just not wanting to offer Harden a max contract, and I think that just boiled over, and it ended up having him opt into his player option and requesting a trade to the Los Angeles Clippers.
Okay. I know James Harden's not really a locker room guy. I mean, he hasn't really been friends with anybody since his Thunder days and maybe Chris Paul on the Rockets. And, he's failed with the super team in Brooklyn, Embiid in Philly, and most of his teammates in Houston. So I just want to say, is he really money hungry, or does he just want to play basketball?
I mean, to me, it looks like he just wants to win a championship. I mean, he's almost, 34 years old now. He's just looking for a title at this point of his career. He's got everything else. So, I mean, I don't see why he couldn't compete with the title with this Clippers team.
Okay. But, he's declaring a trade from the Philadelphia 76ers because he's not getting paid a lot. Now, if you look at a guy like Draymond Green, who took a pay cut this year to stay with the Warriors because they're now title contenders, how would you compare the two, and how would you explain that James Harden's not money hungry?
Well, I mean, Draymond's been with that organization for a very long time since he was drafted. So, I mean, of course, he knew he was going to get paid. I mean, he's obviously a four-time NBA champion.
True.
Harden has, had trouble staying in one place for a while now, bouncing around from Houston to Brooklyn to Philly. So it's hard for teams to want to offer a guy a long-term contract when he hasn't exactly stayed in a team for a long-term situation. So I could see why, GMs aren't looking for that.
Okay, but let's get back to the trade real quick. Let's look at the trade details. James Harden was traded to the Clippers with one of his good friends, P.J. Tucker, for Nicholas Batum, Marcus Morris Sr., Robert Covington, and some picks. And I just want to say, I think that's a steal for the Clippers. I mean, Batum and Marcus Morris are washed up at this point. I just want to say that the Clippers are now title contenders, but I think they're going to get injured halfway through the season. And I just wanted to know, what do you think about this trade?
I think it's a good trade for the Clippers. Kawhi and Paul George have been in LA for almost 5 years and have barely delivered much. And adding Russell Westbrook last season maybe pushes them over the edge a little bit. But I think James Harden is going to make this team a really good contender and, really push them to the top. And the West is very packed out with the teams like the Nuggets and the Warriors. So it's going to be very tough to get there. But I think they got what it takes.
Okay. Well, that's all for this James Harden trade. Now it's time for us to go to our next segment. Shifting gears into the most anticipated movie of the year, the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Here are some reviews from people at our school. I thought the movie was goodish, but there aren't many jump scares. The best part of the movie are when they try to be scary, and most of the movies were just kind of filler, with occasional important plot points, but it has some notable cameos and interesting plot lines, and as well as a good soundtrack. Overall, a 7 out of 10 from William Beasley. Now, I thought it was a pretty good movie. I really like the main character, Mike, and his sister, Abby. I think the best scene is when they build a fort. I give it an 8 out of 10 from Josh Myers. It was okay, 7.5 out of 10 from Khamarean Turner. And personally, I have not watched it yet. I'm planning to watch it soon, so I don't know what my ranking is. Now, it's time for Snack of the Week. Our Snack of the Week is a Hershey's Cookies and Cream dipped pretzels. I don't know if y'all can see that good, but yeah, we're gonna try this. Wow, that is very amazing. I'm very surprised that's actually very good. I'm gonna give that a 9.3 out of 10. That was Snack of the Week. The quote-unquote biggest event in world history happened on Saturday, November 3rd. This event is bigger than the fall of the Roman Empire, LeBlanc, Columbus, and the discovery of fire. That's right, we're talking about the return of OG Fortnite. It has been almost 6 years since we played in OG Fortnite, and with all the old guns and other items in the game, and a new and actually good battle pass, makes this season one of the best of all time. And I know that's a crazy take for the short amount of time it's been out, but just look at yourself. If you downloaded the game recently just for this season, think about the last time you played and how you said you would never play the game again. I mean, everybody that I knew who used to play Fortnite came back for this return. And I have to give a huge congrats to Epic Games for finally doing something good for their most popular game. Thank y'all for watching Current Events. I was your host, Curran Bradley.